Hello, Anytime here. Today, I will show you the recap of a 2006 fantasy anime titled Tales from the Èarthsea. Spoiler alert, watch out and take care. The movie starts on the sea. The captain and his aides are traveling, and coincidentally, a huge wave starts. The captain is shocked, so he calls his weathermaker to calm the wave. However, the weathermaker forgets the name of the winds and waves, so he can't calm it. While they all stand in a dilemma, one of the aides tells the captain there's something in the sky. A dragon flies towards them. They watch as another dragon flies again, and the two dragons start a fight. Eventually, one of the dragons gets injured and falls into the water, while the other flew again. In the city of Enled, the king calls all his advisors to deliberate about the unfortunate things happening in their country. There's an outbreak of a virus, and it affects both humans and animals. Also, there's a drought. The king gives the best solution, but asks the wizard to find out the reason their city is going through such hardship. The wizard says he sees the light leaving. And at about the same time, some villagers come into the palace to tell the king about the dragons. The wizard is shocked dragons are found in their city. He explains their city's past and tells them there was a time when dragons and humans were one. Some of them got covetous and became humans, while the ones who didn't want land and earthly properties became dragons and lived in the winds. He attributes the darkness in their city to the presence of dragons. As they walk away, two maids come to announce that the prince, Aaron, is missing. The king is concerned about this, but his wife asks him not to worry since Aaron isn't a kid. That night, the king sees suspicious shadows. He goes to check and convinces himself he sees things. As he turns back, his son runs to him and stabs him. Aaron kills his father, takes his father's sword, and leaves the city. Another wizard travels around, and Aaron travels with his sword and horse. He meets some wolves in the desert, and they attack him. At that moment, Aaron already figured he would lose his life. He stands there expecting the wolves to kill him, but the strange wizard helps him. He collapses due to shock and wakes up beside the wizard, Sparrowhawk, who asks for his name and tells him his country. Sparrowhawk tells Aaron that the sword he holds contains many powers, and he can't use it. Sparrowhawk concludes that their meeting has been destined and asks Aaron to follow him on his journey. The journey to another city called the Hort Town, a city where humans are goods and the slave trade is their core business. As they walk, Sparrowhawk stops by a fabric store to buy Aaron a cloak. The seller, who's also a wizard, tries to manipulate them, but Sparrowhawk warns her. After wearing his cloak, they continue their journey. Aaron misses Sparrowhawk and meets a strange man who attempts to sell him a pill he called Èarthsea. Fortunately, Aaron hasn't taken the pill before Sparrowhawk found them. Sparrowhawk chases the man away and warns Aaron of Èarthsea. He tells him that Èarthsea makes the eater feel like he's in paradise while the eater's spirit wanders away. When the spirit returns, the eater will get addicted to Èarthsea until he dies. Aaron faints again. Sparrowhawk takes him to the top of the village. Aaron notices something is weird in that village, and when he tells Sparrowhawk, he's informed that it's not only in that village. Sparrowhawk says something is wrong in the whole world, and it seems like someone is destroying the balance of Earth, and there's only one person with that ability on Èarthsea. Sparrowhawk leaves Aaron there and returns home. As Aaron attempts to go home, he sees Hare, a slave trader, and his men chasing a girl. Hare catches the girl, and Aaron goes to save her. After defeating all of Hare's men, Aaron takes the girl and discovers her name is Theru. The girl returns home, and he wanders around the city. He spends the night on the street, and Hare finds him again. Hare captures him and throws his sword away. The next day, he's transported along with other slaves, but he sees Sparrowhawk. Sparrowhawk saves him and also unchains the other slaves. As they leave, Sparrowhawk tells him he had to use the finding spell to find him, and they leave for Tenor, Sparrowhawk's friend's house. As they arrive at Tenor's house, Sparrowhawk and Tenor speak, waking up a girl who stays with Tenor. The girl turns out to be Theru. The next day, Theru mistakes Aaron for Tenor on the bed, and she figures it's Aaron. She walks away and rejects her food. Aaron eats that morning and goes to plow the field with Sparrowhawk. Meanwhile, Hare reports to his lord, Cobb, the ruler of Hort Town's slave trade business, that the slaves are missing. Cobb attempts to take the breath out of Hare, but when Hare tells her the slaves were released by a wizard with a scar on his face, Cobb recognizes the wizard as Sparrowhawk and orders Hare to bring Sparrowhawk to her. After Sparrowhawk and Aaron finish plowing, Tenor comes to them with food. As they eat, Aaron asks about Theru, and he goes to meet her in the backyard. As Theru sees him, she hides. She asks him if he wants to kill her or kill the lamb she's feeding because she hates people who place no value on life. He walks away, and they all have dinner before bed. As Aaron sleeps, he dreams about entering deep water. The next day, Sparrowhawk borrows Aaron's horse to return to Hort and begins Tenor to take care of Aaron. As he leaves, he rides beside two gossip women who look at him and conclude Tenor is a witch. At home, Tenor tells Aaron that Theru was abandoned by her parents after they burnt her face. Meanwhile, Hare meets the gossip women and asks about Sparrowhawk, and they tell him they met a man with a scar at Tenor's home, and Hare goes to Tenor's home. Tenor informs Hare that Sparrowhawk is no longer there. As Hare leaves, Aaron talks with Tenor. Tenor tells him she met Sparrowhawk when Sparrowhawk single-handedly saved her from the tombs of Atuan. At Hortown, Sparrowhawk visits a weapon seller to buy back Aaron's sword. Hare meets him there, but he changes his face. Hare says Cobb is looking for the wizard with the scar. As Hare leaves, Sparrowhawk asks the seller who Cobb is, and he goes to look at Cobb's mansion from afar. At home, Tenor asks Aaron to call Theru for her. Aaron meets Theru singing. After watching her sing, he sits her down and tells her he wants the one who killed his father. He tells her he thinks something is living inside of him. Meanwhile, Hare tells Cobb about Tenor, and Cobb orders him to kidnap her. Aaron runs from Tenor's house, and while they search for him, Hare comes to capture both Tenor and tells Theru to deliver Cobb's message to Sparrowhawk. Cobb instructs Sparrowhawk to visit her if he wants to see his friend. As Aaron leaves the farm, he sees a replica of himself, and he tries to run from this image and falls into a swarm. As they walk away, he collapses, and Cobb carries him. He wakes on Cobb's bed, and Cobb offers him a drink. As they talk, Cobb says Sparrowhawk is a wicked man who only wants to use him. Aaron is shocked about this because Sparrowhawk had always been protecting him. Cobb tells him Sparrowhawk is interested in the key to eternal life, and Sparrowhawk was only protecting him so he could kill him later and take the door to eternal life to himself. Cobb convinces Aaron to tell her his true name, Lebanon. Cobb uses this name to enchant him and asks him to help her with the door to eternal life so they can live together. Sparrowhawk eventually reaches home. Theru delivers Hare's message, so he gives Theru Aaron's sword and asks her to give Aaron before saving Tenor. He jumps over Hare and all his guards and finds his way to Cobb to get Tenor. He finds out Cobb intends to use Aaron as a key for eternal life, and she's the one that destroyed the balance of life. Cobb sends Aaron to fight him. He successfully removes Aaron from Cobb's spells, but he's captured by Hare and imprisoned in the same room Tenor's in. Theru finds a duplicate of Aaron. As they reach the castle, the duplicate tells her he's the only good part of Aaron, and his real self is in that castle. He asks Theru to find Aaron and give him the sword. He also gives Aaron his true name. Theru finds her way to the castle. She overhears Hare talking about killing Sparrowhawk. She finds her way to Aaron and begs him to save Tenor and Sparrowhawk just like he had saved her. But Aaron is hopeless. She tries to encourage him, then she hugs him. As they hug, a dragon is seen. She calls him his true name and also tells him her true name is Tehanu. They decide to find Sparrowhawk. They meet Sparrowhawk at the rooftop where Cobb has tied him. Aaron attacks Cobb, who attempts to use the summoning spell on him. Aaron gains magic. He unsheaths his sword for the first time, then cuts off Cobb's hand and releases Sparrowhawk. Cobb changes into an older man. She attaches her hand again, then carries Theru. Aaron chases Cobb and begs her not to kill Theru, but Cobb uses her magic to break every stone and put a distance between herself and Aaron. She strangles the life out of Theru. Shockingly, Theru becomes a dragon. She reveals she has eternal life, and Cobb begs her for eternal life. She spits fire on Cobb. Cobb dies, and she carries Aaron to the field. She changes back into a human on the field. After hugging, Aaron tells her he will return to his city and confess to his crime before they reunite with Sparrowhawk and Tenor. Sparrowhawk and Aaron spend some time with Tenor and Theru before bidding them goodbye to return to Enled. At the movie's end, Theru looks at the sky and sees her kind flying, signifying that balance has been brought back to Earth. Thank you for watching the recap. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.